documented creeps. Back when I was just a sophomore in college, I found myself in the clutches of a bizarre and spine-tingling tale that could have sprung from the darkest corners of Stephen King's mind. It all revolved around my enigmatic roommate, a fellow named Darian. Darian exuded an aura that sent shivers down your spine. His presence alone was enough to make your skin crawl, as if he had a direct connection to the netherworld. I can't quite put my finger on it, but he gave off the strongest serial killer vibes I'd ever encountered. From the get-go, it was apparent that something was profoundly off about Darian. He had that classic weird loner vibe and an unhealthy obsession with all things lewd. I couldn't ignore the fact that he kept a collection of knives for reasons unknown to anyone but him. The moment I laid eyes on him, I considered requesting a dorm transfer, but life had a sinister twist waiting for me. Over the next few months, Darian withdrew into himself, his nocturnal activities and eccentricities becoming less apparent. It seemed like my initial worries might have been unfounded, and I hesitated to make any drastic moves. Then, one fateful night, while I was watching the evening news, a chilling story sent shivers racing down my spine. A series of attacks had been plaguing our campus, and the details were as grisly as they were disturbing. It piqued my interest, considering how close to home it was. I started paying close attention. My heart pounded as they showed a sketch artist's rendering of the suspected attacker. The face on the screen sent a jolt of terror through my veins. It was Darian. Same dark hair, same piercing eyes, and those same distinctive facial features. It was like a Snapchat filter sketch come to life, an eerie replica of my roommate's face. My initial reaction was disbelief. Surely it couldn't be him. We had joked about him being a serial killer, but it was nothing more than dark humor. It couldn't possibly be real. Yet doubt crept in as I recalled his late-night library sessions and his peculiar night jogs. Who in their right mind goes jogging in the dark? A gnawing fear gripped my gut as I considered the possibility that Darian might be the assailant. Still, I couldn't bring myself to make that call. What if I was wrong? What if I accused him falsely and ruined his life? So I chose to wait, to keep a watchful eye on him, and to act only if there was concrete evidence or another attack. A week crawled by, and the tension in our dorm room was palpable. Then, one evening, as the clock neared 10 p.m., Darian returned home late. I casually asked him about his whereabouts, hoping for a clue. That's when I noticed a series of red marks on his forearms. They looked like scratches, the kind you'd expect from a victim defending themselves. Panic surged through me. I feigned a bathroom visit to get a closer look. He mentioned something about taking MMA lessons when I questioned him about the scratches. MMA lessons? That vague explanation only fueled my suspicions. I had never heard of anyone taking MMA lessons in such a manner. My mind raced with dark possibilities. Desperate to uncover the truth, I hatched a ludicrous plan to follow him at night, to catch him red-handed if he was indeed the culprit. It was a reckless idea, but it seemed like the only way to confirm my suspicions and potentially save lives. 2 or 3 nights later, as he prepared to leave late at night, claiming to go for a run, I decided it was time to act. I threw on dark clothes, grabbed my phone for evidence, and began tailing him. My heart pounded, and the darkness seemed to close in around us. We ventured far from campus, into a residential area, and toward a sprawling public park. As we neared a cluster of bushes, Darian retrieved a ski mask from his pocket and pulled it over his head. I watched, horrified, as he transformed into something sinister before my eyes. It was like witnessing a monster being born. With trepidation, I crept closer to the bushes, intent on exposing his dark secret. But doubt gnawed at me, and I decided to call the police before confronting him. I couldn't risk him getting away, and I wanted the authorities to arrive promptly when I did confront him. As I made the call, I overheard hushed voices and grunting coming from the bushes. Darian had someone with him. Panic surged through me, and I rushed forward, shouting to leave the person alone. My phone's flashlight illuminated the scene as I pushed through the bushes, revealing not one but two men. My heart raced as I realized I was outnumbered. The other man, unmasked, bolted from the scene, leaving Darian behind. I managed to subdue him, but the revelation hit me like a freight train. There was no female victim, no gruesome attack in progress. In a shocking twist, it turned out that Darian wasn't targeting girls at all. I had to convince the police that the suspects had gotten away, and as they arrived, Darian distanced himself from the situation. They dismissed my concerns as those of an overly concerned citizen, taking my statement and leaving me with nothing but apologies. I apologized profusely to Darian, who initially thought I was just some homophobe, but I showed him the composite sketch and explained my suspicions. He forgave me, provided I kept his secret. You see, Darian wasn't just ethnically Armenian. He was born there, into a deeply religious family who wouldn't accept his true self. We were never the best of friends, but we found a way to coexist. The college experience was forever tainted by this bizarre and terrifying chapter. It was a lesson learned the hard way. Sometimes, reality can be far stranger and more sinister than anything you'd find in the pages of a Stephen King novel. Thanks for joining us on this spine-tingling journey at Documented Creeps. If you crave more eerie tales, real-life encounters, and mysteries that defy explanation, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.